One of the things that I overlooked in my practice for many years was creating flow in the body and doing this through sensing the body. So in this video, I'll be guiding you through my self-massage practice that I do every single morning. These movements are largely inspired by Qigong, and the main purpose of these movements is to create more blood, lymph, and nerve flow throughout the body. And what this does is it allows us to sense and feel the body. The nervous system can actually relax. So as we go through this session, have the intention of relaxing, letting go of that stress, letting go of that excess tension. We'll go through each movement for a little over a minute. I may go off script, I may add stuff, so we'll see where we end up. We're gonna start out with some bouncing in place. Taking some nice deep breaths into the body. Grounding through those feet. And I want you to just stay grounded through those feet the entire time. No hopping. Maybe we do that at the end. With each breath, feeling into the structure of your body. So trust in those feet. Trust in that line up through the knees, up the femur bones, into the pelvis. From there, getting heavy into the pelvis. And with that, just a subtle lift through the sternum. So I'm not trying to puff my chest out. Find those heels, heavy through the pelvis. And just let the heart open up. Eyes on the horizon, maybe you close them if that's feeling good. Next up, I like to make two fists here. You can open the hands if you want. You're just gonna rub on each side of the sternum. Anytime we're starting to sense and feel an area of the body, I like to really bring the intention of breathing into that area of the body. We're gonna rub underneath the collarbone on one side. And continuing to let go of tension. Switching over to the other side. All right, next up we're gonna rub right above the collarbone. So, might be a little tight there. May need to apply a little bit more pressure, but you can totally just glide on the skin. Totally fine to do this with clothes on or a shirt on as well. Again, just hitting that crease, exploring. The more you do this, the more you can follow the feeling and the sense in the body. Let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. Start to trust yourself and the signals that you're getting. So, if you feel some yawns coming on, embrace them. Really fill up the lungs. Those yawns want to support you in expanding your torso, so allow that to happen. All right, so I'm gonna pop my cap off here and we're gonna rub the scalp. So I like to think of this as a headband massage. I'm wearing a really cool headband and I'm just massaging the scalp, putting a little pressure into the tissue where I'm feeling the skin or the tissue glide along the bone or along the scalp. Again, letting go of any stress or tension you're feeling in the body right now. It's a great opportunity to just breathe into it and let it go. Feel free to open up the mouth, drop the jaw, embrace the yawns. I'm gonna go into some circles on the face. So just coming up through the crease of the nose, up onto the brow, and then scraping down. Then I'm gonna take the blade of my hand and just scrape that crease right at the jawbone. So I can start to kind of put a little pressure in there if my body's allowing it. That could be something that's a little intense right now, but just scraping that, and then we'll take that down into more of those upper traps. You'll be able to find the level of pressure that makes sense for you on a given day. Sometimes this is really soft. Other days it's like, wow, I really want to get in there. So continuing to breathe into it, playing with either that scrape underneath the jaw here, or down the neck. And then the last thing we want to do here is kind of scrape into the collarbone, down towards the center. Again, I really like the blade of the hand for this. It's a great little massage technique. So we're gonna take 2 fingers here, and we're just gonna go right where that collarbone meets, where there's that little divot, and you're just gonna pulse there a few times. If this feels okay for you, you can start to look up and stretch that tissue a little bit more. Maybe it feels like you're choking yourself a little bit. See if you can relax into that. Okay, so feel free to just wiggle out the hands. I know we've been using them a lot. That's one of the things that's great about this too. As you go through this whole sequence, you're waking up those hands, and chances are you're going to be using your hands today. We're going to go right at the front of the shoulder, maybe a little internal rotation of the shoulder, putting a little pressure there, and just rubbing. It could be with your arm down or out to the side or up. Eventually we're going to go up because I'm actually going to rub the armpit. So rubbing the armpit. Another technique that I'll use when I'm feeling like I want to really wake myself up is actually tapping. So I'm taking the heel of my hand or kind of cupping and just tapping that armpit. Okay, cool. Let's switch over to the other side. So again, starting with that internal rotation through the shoulder, feeling a little bit of broadness through the back, waking up the front, eventually bringing it into that armpit. And then if you're feeling called, you can go ahead and hit the armpit. If not, just keep that massage going. Okay. Now we're going to go into tummy circles. So all I'm doing is circling along my abdomen. There's a few different techniques you can do here, but we're just kind of doing the most bang for our buck. Up on the right side, that's gonna be ascending colon. I'm coming across and then coming down on the left, descending colon. So this is how your digestive system flows. You can absolutely go the other direction if that is something you want to do, but for sake of time, I find hitting this can really get my digestive system going. Hopefully I don't have to run to the bathroom really quickly here, but notice any sort of tensing through the abdomen, right? And it's going to be a sign that our organs are a little stressed or just clinging on to some tension. And I know it seems a little weird if you're not familiar with some of this stuff, but the organs absolutely hold on to tension. So your body, your muscle tissues will also respond to those corresponding areas with the organs, to put it very generally, right? So same thing, you can do this as firm as you want or as soft. It's really about just getting that flow going in the body. Next one, we're gonna go hip crease on both sides of the crotch area here. We're just gonna rub up and down. So I've got the hip bone here. I'm just gonna go right to the inside of that and then up and down. And if you're feeling called to do a little bounce with this, that works too. Breathe in. Cool. Another good one to continue to bounce on. I want you to recognize as I go through this, I'm not bringing my hips through like this. I'm gonna find the heels, get heavy down through the lower back into the pelvis, and then I can get a little pressure with my fists together, but I'm just gonna bounce and rub the lower back here. Nice and easy. Breathe into the back side of the body, right? We are starting to sense these areas that, well, specifically with the back side of the body, we can't see it. So we've got to spend a little time waking that stuff up so we can sense and feel it. And then one that really gets some stuff flowing for me personally is I'm gonna go heels of the hands and rub that sacral area. And you could go anywhere along that high glute, just hip musculature right around there. But I do find just staying right there, one, I can continue to get heavy into my feet through the pelvis. And then also there's a ton of nerves around this area. So creating some flow in this area is very important. You could add some hitting back there if you want, some light taps, but we're just gonna go with the rub today. Whew. We're gonna go to the back of the knee. So we've got those pits, right? These different creases. Those are high leverage areas to get some flow. So I'm just at the back of the knee, rubbing up and down. And then same thing if you want to go with that tapping, if that feels accessible for you, you can go ahead and do that. If not, just keep the rub going. Since we are in the legs already, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite moves. You've probably seen it in some of the other videos, and this will tie some things together, but I'm exhaling, sliding down the backs of the legs, and then inhaling, sliding up the front and hitting that crease right here. So, exhale down, inhale up. Feeling this nice sense of circulation through the lower body. You can always bend those knees as much as you need to. And then the upper body version of that one is going to be hands out here in front, and we're just going to slide, hitting this archer. So notice we're hitting a few of those spots all at once that we focused on earlier. And then one more thing that we're going to add to this, I'm just going to follow that thumb with my eyes, pivot the trail leg, and then take it into some rotation through the body. Really breathing into that rotation. I like that inhale. We get a little bit more pressure, feeling into the tissues of the body. All right, and just like we began, we're gonna take it into a pulse, a bounce. We've done a lot of work to sense and feel the body, so I feel good closing my eyes here and sensing, feeling everything I woke up, as opposed to feeling like I need to see it. Letting go of any tension, any stress. And then gradually slowing that bounce. Making it smaller, smaller, smaller. And then eventually coming into stillness. Using this moment to sense your body. Bring a small smile to your face. Breathe in through the nose, breathe into those eyes. One more of those breaths. That is the self-massage routine. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're feeling relaxed and ready for your day. I am doing this in the morning. It's a great time to do it, but you can do this at any point throughout your day. So know that it's always there for you, and this stuff counts. Let me know how it went for you in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Stay smooth.